Good. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to start with something special this morning, a song that's special to my heart. We'll have it for about a minute and I'll stop it. Alexa, start over. Alexa, pause. Well, why did I start with the Marine Corps hymn this morning? Because 47 years ago today, I entered the United States Marines. And what Marines are taught are the basics. How to stand at attention, how to salute. We're taught so many things. But the most important thing in the Marine Corps is the basics. That's why they call it basic training when you go in the Marine Corps. Well, this week I said this morning at 7:30, I want to focus on the basics because there's so few people today, I think, that understand and follow the basics for having a business. This morning I was listing 7 simple things to increase your income $100,000. And that's what it is. It's simple things. I'll start with answer the phone. We live in a society today that because they have an iPhone, they don't answer it. In a little while and for the rest of this week, I will be calling agents and inviting them to the kickoff. But the one thing I already know that 70 to 80% of the people won't answer the phone when I call. The biggest pet peeve in my company is the phone rings and somebody doesn't answer it. There's a problem. There's not many problems in my company, but when the phone is not being answered, there's a problem. And when you don't answer the phone, it's a problem. You can't imagine how many times now in society, in the real estate industry, we hear people say, well, that agent didn't call me back. That agent didn't call me back. That agent didn't call me back. Why? How can you have business if you're not going to call somebody back? The second thing is call people back. Somebody asked me last week, how many calls do you think you do a day? And I said, probably every day between 150 and 200. That's either calls outgoing that I call or people calling me. And if I'm not able to answer the call, first thing I'm going to do is call them back. Second thing I'm going to do is follow up with them. It's to me, it's so simple. If you're calling people, staying in touch with people to ask them for business. Call someone every day. You should have it as part of your daily schedule to just call someone each day. I call people every day. If you don't call somebody, how do you expect them to do business? If you're waiting for them to call you, it's not going to happen. And you have to call them a number of times, a lot of times before they will do business with you. Another simple thing is come to work each day. I hear people say, oh, I work from home. I wonder how much work they actually do from home. I remember going to Atlanta years ago and I was working with a husband and wife team. And I went there and she had a room upstairs that was her office. And when I walked in there, I said, what's those boxes right there? She says, every morning when I come in here, I think about, we need to get these up in the attic. I told her husband, I said, come right with me. I said, get them in the attic right now. I said, that's distracting her from getting appointments each morning because she goes, oh, that needs to be done. Well, how about if you need to do a load of laundry? That's going to take you out. How about if the dishes need to be done? How about this needs to be done? When you go to work, you need to do work. So if you're going to have an office, I've not seen very many people that were successful working at home. I do have one person. Her name was Sherry Puffer. Now, her children were grown. It was just her and her husband. And she actually could get appointments every day from her home, but very few people come to work at the same time at their home. And I believe there's a benefit to get up, get dressed, and go into the office. You know, now they have all these virtual offices. A lot of these people they have a virtual business. I've yet to see it by doing a virtual business. Real estate is not a virtual business, it's a person business. It's a person-to-person business. The more people you contact, the more people you see, the more opportunities you have. And if you're a secret agent and you don't let people know you're in real estate and you don't tell people you're in real estate, and if you don't share people how great the market is, you're not going to have a great business. This morning, Marie, are you on the call? I have Marie Graziano. And I've been trying to get agents.
Good morning.
Good morning. I've been trying to get people to call past customers, and I know I've shared this 100 times. I've shared it every week about calling past customers. Imagine my workbook, the Lacey Way. I've been using the same workbook for 28 years. And it works just as good today as the day I wrote it. But one of the chapters talks about call your past customers every 60 days. And until 5 years ago, I couldn't get agents to call the past customers. Now I have to say, y'all are doing a much better job of calling your past customers. But don't call them your way. You got to call them my way. You take the number of past customers you have. Let's say you have 450, or let's say you have 45. Well, if you're going to call them every 60 days, you don't divide it by 60, you divide it by 45, because that's the actual number of basically days that you work in a 60-day period, not counting Saturdays and Sundays and holidays. So if you have 90 past customers, you divide that by 45, that's 2. You have 180 past customers, you divide that by 45, that's 4 a day. And when Marie started calling her past customers, she was calling about 3 a day. That first year, how many did you have, Marie, from calling past customers?
12 closings.
12 closings out of 30-something. So about 1/3 of her closings came from past customers. Now, I want to say this. Marie was averaging between 30 and 40-something closings a year. Year after year after year. Now, if we have time this morning, I'm going to ask you, this week, our coaching call is, what are you going to change this year to have a better business? So that's what she changed 5 years ago. So the second year from past customers, she had 24 closings. The third year, she had 34. The next year, she had 34. Year before last, how many did you have? 41?
41. Yes, sir.
41. So this past year, you had 84 closings in 2024?
83.
83. And how many were past customers?
46.
Now think about that. Now, how many people do you call a day with your past customers?
My goal is 10 a day.
10 past customers. Okay.
Yep.
So 10 dials a day equaled 46 closings. Now, will you have 46 your first year? Probably not. Because, see, the difference now is when she called past customers that first year, she had to basically call, and they were either going to sell or they knew somebody. But now her past customers call her because she stays in touch with them. Because every 60 days, she either talks to them or leaves them a message. Every 60 days. And again, I don't want you to, one day out of every 60 to call all your past customers. I want you to call a few a day because I want it to become a habit. Now, I said 7 simple things that can add $100,000 to your income. Marie, your income this past year was 400 and what?
435.
435. Now, when I met Marie, she was making $11,000 a year. $11,000. Because she didn't have the way to build a business. She didn't have the program. She didn't have the training. She didn't have the scripts. She now has the scripts internalized. How many of you listening to me this morning have your scripts internalized? How many of you this morning knew what you were going to say before you said it? You know, I had a great script this morning. When they played the wrinkle on him a little while ago, I was supposed to stand up, but I didn't because thought I'd be out of frame. So I didn't stand up. But I sat at attention when they played wrinkle on him. But this past year, she had 40-something closings from past customers. What part of their income out of $430,000, how much of that was, how much money do you think from past customers?
I would say 225,000.
225,000 from doing just one thing that I said. One. I just said simple things that can increase your income 100,000. But would you be surprised at how many people don't do simple things? Now I'm going to stop here a second. I'm going to go, the simple thing to get dressed up each day. The more professional you look, the more professional you'll act. The more professional you look, the more people will do business with you. Yeah, there's people goes out there in golf shirts and khakis, and they can get business. But would you like to have more business? Then be the professional in your company, in your community. Dress the part. Act like you're successful. Dress like you're successful. Talk like you're successful. What do you mean talk like I'm successful? Well, somebody asks you what the real estate market's, how's the real estate market? Great. How's the real estate market? Fantastic. How's the real estate market? Excellent. How's the real estate market? Unbelievable. Well, see, unbelievable means it's a bad market, but you never tell anyone it's a bad market because they never forget that. And when they get ready to sell, do they want to work with somebody that's saying the market's bad? So it's always great, fantastic, excellent, or unbelievable. Now, for a new agent listening in this morning, I don't have past customers. Well, let me help you. Go to the owner or manager of your company and say, I want to bring business into our office. Agents that have left the company say, can I pull their files of people that they sold a house to? And say, here's what I want to do. I want to bring money into the company. That's what you tell the owner. That's what you tell the manager. I want to bring money into the company. And if it's okay for me to call, and see, no one owns a client. And we know less than 1% of agents call their past customers. Less than 1%. So nobody's calling them. So what would you do? I would find agents that have left and adopt those files. Andrew, Lacey, I'll have to call you back. Who is this? Todd, I'll call you back. I'm on a Zoom call, okay? YouTube call. Thank you, buddy. Answer the phone. So you're going to call someone that wasn't your client. What would you say? Now, imagine I'm standing up. You're going to say, good morning, this is Andrew Lacey. First of all, I hope you're having a great day. And we're just following up to see if you're still enjoying your home. That's all you got to say. You're still enjoying your home? Well, I'm glad to hear that. And another thing I wanted to do, we just wanted to stay in touch with you. Would it be okay to call you every 60 or 90 days just to let you know how the market is? What did I just say? Would it be all right to call you every 60 or 90 days just to let you know how the market is? You know, they're going to say yes. Now, what we're going to do, we're not going to wait till 90 days. We're going to call them every 60 days. But it seems less threatening when we say 60 to 90 days. So that first contact, if you've been in real estate 20 years and you have 1,000 past customers or 500 past customers, the first time you call them, never ask for business. Just call them up and say, hey, I've been thinking. No, if you're personally calling your own past customers that you've never called, here's what you call. When they answer the phone, will you forgive me? John, this is Andrew. Will you forgive me? What am I going to forgive you for, Andrew? For not staying in touch with you. You know, you were a great client. And I feel bad I haven't stayed in touch with you. And then say, is your family doing well? I wish you a great 2025. And by the way, would it be all right just to stay in touch with you every 60 to 90 days and let you know how the market is? And every one of them is going to say yes. So on the second call, you ask for business. You call them up and say, beep, or they answer the phone, John, I need your help. What can I do for you, Andrew? The market is so good, everything I've got is selling, and I was just calling to see if you know of anybody that might need to buy or sell. Well, I can't think of anyone. Well, listen, will you keep me in mind that if you run across somebody that needs to buy or sell, you give me a call? Well, sure I will. And that's what you do. Always ask for business first. Then at the end of the call, if you want to say, how's your family, how's Mary, how's the children, that's fine. Ask for business first, then talk about personal issues. We're talking something less than 3 minutes. We're talking about less than 30 minutes to call 10 past customers. But most of you don't have 10 past customers. That means you got 450 customers, 450 past customers. But again, this is something that will add $100,000 that costs you no money. You know, people are throwing money at things that will never work. I was saying this morning, 47 years ago today, 47 years, that's older than a lot of you on this call. I went in the Marine Corps. 42 years ago, I went into real estate. And there's one thing over the last 42 years that I definitely know. Real estate is easier today than it's ever been because of the lack of professionalism, the lack of communication. Communicating is not an email. Communicating is not a text. It's personally being in front of someone. You want to do business, you got to be in front of the people. Belly button to belly button. You want to get an appointment, you got to call someone. Another simple thing is don't call 5 people, 4 people, 3 people at one time. Never use robo-dialing. Never. Because it's the next thing, always leave a message. And the one thing you don't do, if you're calling 3 people at a time, it's going to pass by 2 of them. You know, I know immediately when somebody robo-dials me because when I say hello, it takes them 5 more seconds to answer the call. And normally when they do that, I either yell at them or take a whistle and blow it in their ear. But if I can sell 300 homes in a year calling one person at a time, can't you sell 30 by calling one person at a time? Quit using gimmicks. Use professionalism. Use the right scripts. Use the right program. Use the right way to do business. Call one person at a time. Always leave a message. You know, I said back 28 years ago, if 2 people are calling the same person every day, and one person leaves a message every day and one person doesn't, the day they answer the phone, the person that's never left a message, they don't know who they are, where they work, recognize their voice. But the person that's left 10, 20 messages, they recognize their voice, they know who it is, and they know what it's about. Don't you want the easiest way to get into people's house? Well, you do that by leaving a message. Do you understand that I got more appointments or as many appointments from callbacks as I did from the person that answered the phone the first time? And let me go one step further. I just finished one of my books, and I was saying I made 10 times more money from people that told me no the first time. And this is why one of the simple things is to follow up. No today does not mean no tomorrow. You know, most people still can't grasp that no today does not mean no tomorrow. You know, the chapter before is some will, some won't, I won't next. Some people will do business. Those are the easy ones. Some people won't. The third is I won't. I won't be upset if they don't give me an appointment today. I won't be upset if they hang up on me. I won't be upset if they don't make the right decision. I won't be upset. I won't be mad. I won't be angry. And sometimes I don't want to work with some people after I go out there and meet with them. I won't next. Some will, some won't. I won't next. But again, no today does not mean no tomorrow. And this is where I said in the book, this is why I became wealthy, is because of the people that some won't does not mean forever. And that's why you continue, that's why saying following up. See, you could take right here, you could take past customers, which she made $200 out of $400,000, more than $200,000. And then you could take the people that call people back, and there's another $200,000. And this is why people are making $4 and $5 and $6 and $7 and $800,000 a year. You know, Brad Kent's again this past year made $785,000 with one assistant. Did he work every day? Nope. He went on a 2-week vacation with his family. He went on a 1-week vacation with each child. He went to separate places and spent a week with each child. And he goes up and spends a little time at the Cape in the summer. But see, when he does work, he does the basics better than anyone else. To have I said dress professionally. Show up professionally. Show up on time. Never be late. If you're going to be late, call and tell me you're going to be late. And then ask, I'm running about 10 or 15 minutes late. Do I need to reschedule? Is it all right if I'm late? You know, you think that's not important. Well, it is if you want to get business from some people, because some people, if you show up late, they'll let you make a presentation, but they won't do business with you. So why do you want to take that chance? Never take that chance. You know, this program I have, it's no chance to it. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed to work. If you follow, the activities that generate income, what are they? Prospecting, that's calling someone. What's the second one? Listing presentations, that's going to see someone. Writing offers, negotiating contracts. And I don't see anywhere in my book where it says have a Facebook page. But people want the easy way out. Well, if I have a great internet presence, I have an agent that's been in real estate 30-something years. The 2 years I coached her was the best years of her life. She's still been trying to recapture that, but she wants to do it through Zoom. She wants to do it through the internet. And she goes, I like the internet. It's okay to like it. It's not going to make you a multimillionaire. If it did, everybody would be a multimillionaire. All you got to look around is look what everybody else is doing and stop doing what they're doing. But you know what? It takes effort. Somebody said, I was saying this morning, somebody said, it's hard. But when you do finally work out, look at the results if you work out correctly. So a lot of people work out, but they don't work out correctly. A lot of people are on a diet, but they're not on the right diet. A lot of people come to work, but they don't make any money. It's because they're not doing those things correctly. There's the issue right there. If you come to work, you've got to do certain things. And the number one thing of all, and this is talking personally to you, I can tell you how not to make money, because 8 years I made less than $50,000. And I did everything they said to do in real estate. But then I came back from Salt Lake City and first thing I changed was, instead of waiting and being passive and waiting for somebody to call me, waiting at an open house, waiting at a desk to phone ring, I became proactive. Number one, proactive. Call someone every day. That's the next one. Call somebody every day. The more people you call, the more business you're going to have. This morning I had a young man on the phone named Tyrese. And when he got in the program last January, he had 2 closings in 2023. It took him 6 months before he started getting appointments regular. It took him another couple of months before he started getting listings. Marie, did you hear how many listings he said he got in December? Was it 4 or 5? I think he got 5 listings in December.
That was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
5.
And 3 of them already under contract, and it's only January the 13th. Well, this year, he will make over $200,000. He may make $300,000 because he learned the basics. What he did in 2024 is he came to work each day dressed professionally. He came to work each day, he called someone. He came to work each day and followed up with someone. He came to work each day to get an appointment to go see someone, and then he followed up with them. And what happened is he became good at leaving a message. He became good at getting an appointment. He became good at his presentation. He became good at negotiation. Guys, that's real estate. Everything I just said is the way to build a business. You're going to sit around and wait for business the rest of your life, or you're going to learn it the right way, the Lacey way. I said this morning, 29 years ago now, when I started, I wanted to change the way real estate was done. Do you know right now, I teach real estate differently than everyone else. And it starts with the basics. When you have a scripted presentation, you're very powerful. When you have no presentation, you have nothing. You're just going out there and hoping they'll list with you. Can you imagine? It's in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times that I got to the door. They came to, thank you so much. Hey, I'm Andrew Lacey. Thank you so much for allowing me to come to your home. Before I get started, can I ask you a question? Can I have your permission to be totally upfront with you on what it's going to take to get your home sold today? You can look at it, but we're not selling. We're not putting it on the market. We're not listing. That's great. By the way, my first name's Andrew. Yours is Bill. Yours is Mary. May I call you Mary? Can I call you Bill? Will you please call me Andrew? Now, would you be kind enough to show me through your home and show me what you like best so I can point that out to a potential buyer? Guys, I haven't sold real estate since '95. But I still have my script internalized for the greeting. But what I was going to say, you can't imagine how many hundreds of times people said, no, we're not going to list. And 30 minutes later, they were signing the paperwork. Why? The presentation. The presentation captured them. The presentation made them understand that I was the best person to help them. When your presentation becomes that, those people that said no are going to say yes. Those people that said, well, we're going to go back with the same agent, are going to say, we want you. Those people that said, well, we're going to wait till April, said, let's get started today. And it's all because of the scripts in the presentation. There's a lot of people that have gone through my class, but there's not a lot of them that learned the basics of what to say, how to say, and when to say it. So let me ask you today, what change will you make this year? Will you start answering the phone when it rings? Will you call everyone back before the end of the day? Will you call a few people each day? Will you follow up each day with a few people? You know, Marie makes $50, $60, $70. And then she calls 10 past customers. And then how many people do you normally follow up with in a day, Marie? 5 or 10?
10 is my goal for that as well.
10. Because see, like Marie, when she doesn't get the listing, or like myself, Marie will take that file and put it on the right side of her desk. And then she'll after she prospects, she'll call those 5 or 10 people. And then she's calling 5 or 10 past customers. What is she doing? Well, she's making $400,000 every year for the last 3 years. Now remember, when I met Marie, she was making $11,000 a year. And that's not unusual. When I met Pam Ford, she was making $11,000 a year. She went from $11,000 to $127,000 in 1 year in Nashville, Tennessee. The last 2 years, she's made $600,000 in 2 years. That's a lot of difference doing $11,000. I look at all the agents this year that did not have a closing. You know why? Because they don't do the basics. It's that simple. How you show up, when you show up, you have to show up. I don't think there's another job that you could have that you can work 250 days a year and average $400,000 a year. Because Marie, you've made 3 years ago, you made $397,000. 2 years ago, year before last, you made $403,000, and this past year you made $420,000. That's $1.2 million.
That's right.
With one assistant, working 5 days a week. Is that right? 5 days a week?
Yes, sir.
So you went on vacation last week. Last week. Was it last week? Week before last? Week before last?
The week before last.
Yeah. And when you got back, the first day you got back, you set 3 appointments, you got a new listing, and you had 2 closings in 1 day, if I remember correctly.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Think about it. First day back, she sets 3 appointments, gets a listing, and puts 2 under contract, but you also received 3 offers on the next day, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Why does she receive 3 offers when some people don't receive 3 offers in a year? Because she has 30 active listings. How did she get 30 active listings? Because she went on a couple of hundred appointments last year. How did she go on a couple of hundred appointments? Because she prospected and set a couple of hundred appointments. If you want to have more closings, you have to have more listings. You want to have more listings, you got to go on more appointments. If you want to go on appointments, you have to set the appointment. And the simplest way is to do it the Lacey way. To focus on people that want to sell now, not 5 years from now. A lot of people quit cold calling. Do high impact prospecting at expireds, for-sale owners, and past customers. Again, to me, real estate is simple. But the thing is, you simply have to do it my way, the Lacey way, and not your way. That's the biggie. You got to quit doing it everyone else's way and get on the highway to help you to make millions of dollars. Quit being on the frontage road or the dirt road or down in the ditch. Get on the, I like to consider my program being on the express lane in Atlanta, the Peach Pass. What is it called in Florida? I forgot, I got one down there, and then I got one in Virginia. I have all those passes because I don't like to sit in traffic. Aren't you tired of sitting there with no business? Aren't you tired of sitting there? Why don't you move over to the Lacey way on the fast track of always having business? You know what? The only thing that has changed since I developed this program in 91, 92, 93, 94, the only thing that's different is the names have changed. The program didn't change. These people that are making $500,000, I said this morning, Chuck McBee in Atlanta made $1,200,000. Again. Why? Because he comes to work every day. He's the most professionally dressed. He follows up. You know, it's amazing the biggest producers that I have either answer the phone or call me back immediately. And the people that don't have any money and are broke, I never hear from them. I'm not talking about coaching people. I'm talking about people that have been to a program, a complimentary, a 2-day. But they don't, you know what they don't? They don't check their voicemail because they're looking at their iPhone. You know what I also suggest? Go buy a flip phone. Marie, when you went from an iPhone to a flip phone, how much money did you increase that year?
$100,000.
Every person I ever have trained that went from an iPhone to a flip phone, every one of them can testify that their income went up 100,000. Because instead of hearing it going off 50 times, 100 times a day, when it rang, they knew it was about business. You know, I get robocalls and I get this, but I don't get 100 alerts a day. And I don't have 100 apps a day. I believe the more apps you have, the less money you make. That's just my personal opinion. Why don't you, instead of having apps on your phone, why don't you start applying yourself to doing the right things? Calling people, seeing people, following up with people. People, real estate is an opportunity of a lifetime. Most people have a regular job and they know what the check's going to be every month. Do you know your check can increase every month, every year? Every year you could have what did she make? When I met her, 11,000. And then she was around 100,000 for so many years. Then she went to 200. And now she's at 400,000 a year. Has your income doubled, tripled, quadrupled, gone up 10 times, gone up 20 times from where you started? No, most agents' income gets to a point and stays the same every year, year after year, year after year, year after year, because they never changed what they did. I hope I've encouraged you this morning to change. To change how you think and what you say and what you do. And by doing that, start each morning by saying, it's a great day and someone needs my help today. You know what? I've helped someone this morning to change the direction of their business. I hope to see you on January the 23rd at the Marriott in Greenville, South Carolina, off of Pelham Road, from 10 to 4. It will be that shot in the arm. It may even change your life's direction. The Marine Corps 47 years ago helped me to have self-confidence, self-motivation, and have self-discipline. You know, for the last, since COVID of 2020, 6 years ago, I've come to this office every morning to try to help someone. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to, and because I know they needed my help. I hope I've helped you today. If you need anything, call us at 1-800-948-1633, 1-800-948-1633, or personally call me at 864-909-1258. And please go on Andrew Lacey, I'll go to andrewlaceytraining.com and sign up for the 23rd. I look forward to seeing you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.